This one was really gory. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Yellow, and we're here with another trailer. This is called The Furious. Not The Fast and the Furious, The Furious. This is a martial arts action-packed film. We haven't really done a whole lot of these that often because nowadays we don't get a chance to see a lot of martial arts films like we should. You know, back in the 90s to even 2000s, like martial arts films was crazy. And it goes back to like the 1960s with Chinese film all the way to now. Over time, we always get a chance to see some new films that incorporate a lot of martial arts, because a lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, you know, as much as I love martial arts, I studied it when I was young too. There's a lot of martial arts films where the story's lackluster, but they're actually so good sometimes you forget about how bad the story is. And nowadays, over time, a good story carries just as much weight as well. And, you know, you need a good story to incorporate this, because, you know, what's the point of a movie when there's no good story? And I feel like, you know, whatever last few action films have been out in the last decade, the stories have been elevated and growing and getting a lot better. I think it's a Chinese film or Southeast Asian film. There's a lot of different martial artists from different backgrounds in this one, or it could be an American film. I don't even know. It just has a lot of Asian actors from overseas. I did notice there's a few actors from one of my favorite films, The Raid and The Raid 2. They're also martial artists. Those films are Indonesian films. You should check it out if you haven't had the chance. Check out The Raid and The Raid 2. Other than that, we're gonna jump right in. Let's take a look. This is called The Furious.
You're looking for someone.
American.
So am I. My wife, what method?
Feels like The Raid. Jesus. I was getting hit by a hammer like that.
Your daughter. She might still be alive.
Ah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That was called The Furious. Woo! The action sequence is nuts. Now, remember I mentioned The Raid? The Raid is same type of action. It has the same type of feel, and a lot of it has this dark, contrasty, like teal, greenish, orange, warm look. You know, that look that they were using in the late 2000s, early 2010s type of color grading. This one was really gory. There was a lot of martial arts actors that I see in here that I recognize. Some I've seen from Everything Everywhere All at Once. They were in here also. As I spoke before, you know, stories can be very lackluster when it comes to martial arts films. Like this one, daughter gets kidnapped, now it's trying to go find her and save her. Sounds like something we've heard before. You know, Rush Hour, a girl gets kidnapped and they send martial arts police officer and another police officer to go find who kidnapped her. What else? Could also be like A Man on Fire, you know, similar story. Girl gets kidnapped. Instead of father was a bodyguard to go find out who kidnapped the girl. So yeah, it's not a super extensive story, but You know, the action is probably going to carry more than the story will be. I'll probably watch it strictly for the cinematography and the action. Like I said, it gives me the same feel as The Raid. Of course, they have a lot of the same actors from that movie as well. And it did mention it in the trailer. Back then with a lot of action films, you know, the fighting sequences, it's always very stiff and very unrealistic. Now, you know, it's a lot of the fighting can be realistic, but then there's some parts where it could be unrealistic as well on like some of the gore and stuff like that occurs. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but hey, it could get very violent to points like that. I never thought I'd get shanked by the end of a hammer in my eye or something like that. But a movie like this, I'm sure it's gonna attract a lot of people who want to go see if it has the right push and PR. I'm probably gonna go check it out. Like I said, I'm not looking at this movie as the movie where it's supposed to be Oscar award winning and I'm watching it on pure entertainment, pure action for the most part. But you know, I hope that the story at least carries along to make us feel something when we watching it, you know, at least feel for the girl, feel for the dad, and feel for everything that happens in between. But yeah, that was The Furious. What did you think? Comment, like, subscribe down below, and share this video. And other than that, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.